Thank you so much for joining us here at Indigo Room. So I was in Chicago on a train, and these people were coming in and going out, but there was a homeless man laying down on the train. And he looked like he had been injured, and he had dried up blood on his hand. And these 3 kids were in a corner. And they were looking, they seemed as though they were conspiring on what they were going to do. And they were talking about, well, what if I throw this glass, because it was a glass bottle, by their feet? Then he'll wake up. And then the other one said, nah, don't do that, man. He said, man, you always wimping out, man. We ain't never gonna have no fun. But there was a girl among them as well. And she said, that's not fun. As the doors opened for the train, the 3 of them walked out. But the girl, her eyes lingered. She stood by the door as the boys walked off. Tears came down her face. She said, I love you, Dad, and walked off with the boys. That was her father, the homeless man that was on that train. I don't know what the story was. We can only think or guess what that story must have been. But she was not the person who actually spoke up on her father's behalf. It was another child who did. Perhaps if he had not spoken up, maybe she would have. Either way, she saw her father lying there with dried up blood on his hand. How many of us are related to the homeless? Sometimes people are forgotten because no one can find them. Perhaps they've gotten lost in the system. Either way, we don't know how far along we are from that one totem pole we once stood on, or stand on now. Jesse Jackson once said that we are all a paycheck away from homelessness or being poor. No one knows what tomorrow will bring. However, what we do know is what goes on now. At least we think we do anyway. Let us keep that in mind when we are choosing to judge another individual. I'm sure that little girl did not want to judge her father. I'm sure that the great sadness within her is what was reaping to the surface as to why she was crying. But we have to look at, God even looked at the homeless people. Jesus looked at them. There was a quote in the Bible that said something about the animals having a home to live in, but the actual man does not. I have to reread that scripture. But either way, if you Google it, you'll find it. It's important that we look beyond just what we think we see. Everyone has a story, everyone has a life, and everyone must live it. Because that person has forgotten or has given up doesn't give them less value. Thank you so much for joining us. Indigo Moon. Have a wonderful one.